Tonight on Maui Chopper, a race against time to save a missing windsurfer.
Sometimes you find them too late.
Then, a blaze threatens an exclusive neighborhood.
Has there been a fire called in?
I'm gonna do a recon on this fish.
And later, Don battles his own pilots,
Put the water on the fire.
Okay. See the fire, drop the water.
leaving one on the verge of walking out.
There's no loyalty anymore, right? I don't even have energy for this right now.
Sometimes you're kind of hard to approach, Don. So.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
That is bullcrap.
Early morning at Windward Aviation, pilot Manny gets a lesson from owner Don on some of the dirty work.
So you can see how Manny likes to fly. See all this crap all over this window here? So I just like to put some water on here and then get that. There's a fine film of dust that comes off when you do that. It does make a difference.
Yes, it's a true art.
It is. There is a major art to this.
The way I have to wash a windshield has to go, and I mean, I'll just touch it just the wrong way. It goes, no, what are you doing?
No, just squeeze the water on and then just take with your hand, wipe the dust off. There you go.
Manny likes being a pilot. Manny doesn't like doing anything other than being a pilot, though.
Everything's unfair to me.
No, it's not. You have to take some responsibility here.
Don is the big boss. We're methodical. He's very picky. He's got quite a few pet peeves.
Feel the dust?
Yes. Sometimes it's a little difficult to work for him.
(911) emergency.
Yeah, my wife went windsurfing earlier, and I haven't heard from her. I think she may be in trouble.
There's a missing windsurfer that's been reporting missing for a couple hours. Of course, take the currents and the wind, obviously, in consideration. My name is Manny. I've been flying for approximately 12 years. Being a helicopter pilot is my dream. Hurry up! When you get a call on the ocean rescue, you want to find them quick because sometimes it's a body recovery.
Manny is accompanied by 2 rescue swimmers and Maui Fire Department Captain Jack Williams.
Central dispatch, Air 1, taking off.
The windsurfer is alone and possibly injured, surrounded by nothing but miles of open ocean. If Air 1 doesn't find her quickly, survival is unlikely.
Yeah, rescue 10 from engine 10, 53-year-old female. Last seen approximately 2 o'clock this afternoon. She goes out normally a bit further than most of the sailors, so she might be further out than the guys out there now.
With today's strong winds and currents, the victim could be more than 3 miles from her last known location.
Okay, Jack, what do you want? Let's try to head towards the harbor. They usually push that way and then we'll come back. Roger.
Usually when you're trying to look for someone, you do go to where they're last seen. From there, you leap back to where the wind or the current would have pushed them.
2 o'clock, that's a pretty long time ago. Yeah, 2 hours ago? Yeah. Close to 3 hours? Yeah, 3 hours actually.
Although the water is very nice here, once you're in it for a long time, your strength leaves you right away.
This is a 2-mile buoy right here out of the mouth of the harbor. Yep. Is that a boat right there? Yeah, that's a boat, that one. Yeah.
Late in the day, you get a lot of reflection off the water. And that's why it's actually harder to see people because you're just looking into a big glare. So you've got to kind of position yourself towards the sun, looking up, and there's a lot of waves with this wind. And you've got to really kind of get your scan going just to make sure you find people.
Yeah, I see 2 stingrays right down here. Yeah. One more.
Time is running out. Once you're in it for a long time, the risk factor increases incredibly.
Time isn't the only enemy of the surfer. Tiger sharks infest Maui's coastline.
That's above a tiger made up with it. Did you see a tiger around? There's a lot around here. Yeah.
Sharks notoriously mistake surfboards for prey, especially when far from shore.
When you can't find someone, it's very frustrating. And sometimes you find them too late, and that's the worst.
Coming up next, Manny's search for the missing windsurfer continues, and Don gets an unpleasant surprise in the mail.
You would think that he would have told us before it showed up in our mailbox.
And later, Dean battles an out-of-control blaze that threatens to wipe out an entire neighborhood.
Put the water on the fire.
Manny and a small rescue crew seem to be on an endless search for a missing windsurfer when suddenly...
Hey, Cap, you posing right in line with that kiteboarder right there? That person was waving. Oh, yeah, I see him. Yeah, it looks like a white board. Yeah. We sure that's her? Yeah. She doesn't have a sail. No, yeah, she lost her sail. Command from Air 1. We found her. She's in the water with her board, no sail. She looks like maybe she injured her leg. Yeah, she's hurt, man.
The surfer isn't completely out of danger. Tiger sharks are common in these waters. Manny needs to get her out fast.
All right, guys, what do you want to do? Okay, we're gonna put in with swimmer, Manny. Roger, roger. Well, we're gonna have to drop in there and pick her up. Yeah, she's been treading water for a while now, I guess, huh?
After 3 hours lost in the ocean, dehydration and exhaustion have finally overtaken the victim. She's barely able to keep her head above water.
Jumpers in. Yeah, backing up. Yeah, we can jump in there. Can we pick her up with all of us, Manny? I can. Yeah, I can do that.
Put the net cap.
Yeah.
No problem.
Okay, I'm ready.
Especially made for water rescues, a Billy Pugh basket will be dropped from the helicopter to float just under the surface, allowing the victim to be loaded quickly, no matter the injury. Manny fights the high winds to drop the basket as close to the victim as possible.
Command Air 1, we picked her up and we're bringing her in.
When you're flying a person at the end of the line, it's a live load, and so you feel that much more pressure.
Command from Air 1, victim is on the beach.
The wound to her leg was minimal, but the near drowning leaves the surfer badly shaken with a new respect for the power of the open ocean.
All right, that was a cool mission. Nice quickie. Nice quickie. Sir, request permission to buzz the tower. Negative, Ghost Rider. The pattern is full. Right on, Manny. Good job, buddy. Cool, cool. Good job to you guys.
In the Windward office, Dawn discovers that Manny has another job offer.
Got this from the sheriff department regarding Manny. I guess Manny's leaving, but we don't know that officially from him yet.
You know,
So-
let me see that thing. To get through the training program, get through all the check rides, and all my time and effort, it's probably $20,000 to $25,000 per pilot.
All he did here was pump up his resume. He's got a great looking resume now, especially compared to what he had when he came here.
But he's
But you know how much
fulfilled
time
the
and
year,
money-
though.
Well-
He's fulfilled the year. When you first hired him, you wanted him to stay a year. He's fulfilled that.
You would think that he would have told us before it showed up in our mailbox.
But sometimes you're kind of hard to approach, Don. So.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
That is bull crap.
It doesn't
Well,
matter,
but-
Don. If he leaves, we need to find somebody. It doesn't matter if you agree with it or not.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, there's no loyalty with him and us anymore.
Don, it's not personal. It's not personal.
Well, it's business, okay? And the fact of the matter is, I put more time and money into him than anybody.
Thought I've done very well with Manny. I've kind of handled him with kid gloves a little bit. I haven't really been my normal hardcore self on the guy. So I don't even have energy for this right now.
I can't deal with another pilot, with all the check rides, with all the crap. I don't want to hire anybody from the mainland. I'm tired of it.
I thought everything was fine, so I'll have a conversation with Manny and see where it takes us.
All right, Pumpkin. Let's give you a nice start. Since we have the time right now, I like to give it a bath, make sure it looks nice. It's not just about having it look good. I've always been real kind of adamant to keep the aircraft clean, and it really gives you a chance to check the whole aircraft. So we'll start at the top, do the blades, sing a little song. Everybody cleans. Some more than others, but that's okay.
Coming up next, a fire rages and Dean scrambles to put it out.
Main thing I'm concerned about now is just finding water.
And Don's mood goes from bad to worse.
Put the water on the fire.
At Windward, pilot Manny decides to confront Don about leaving Maui.
I got a very good opportunity to work a very good schedule, search and rescue, very exciting missions, law enforcement, but it's been a very difficult decision. Don is sometimes difficult to work with.
We got this thing in the mail
Yeah,
from a law enforcement agency on the mainland that you had applied there.
yeah, and I'm considering it strongly because it's a very good opportunity for my career and financial, but also
Paying you a lot more than you're making with us?
not a lot more, but it's more money. But it's a lot of things closer to home.
Closer to
big
home in
push.
Switzerland?
Yeah, it's closer. Yeah, it's a lot closer for that.
I've been down this road many times. You know how hard it is for me to find someone to fill this slot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a small list of guys that can walk in here and do this. So you're going, they offer you the job, then you're going.
Yeah, I'll accept it.
Because,
So
you know, that ain't gonna work.
Manny's leaving me at a moment in time when we're having quite a few of our missions all come together at one time in the year. He's chosen to leave us at one of the worst times he could.
Emergency.
Has there been a fire called in? Yeah, okay, that's the same one I'm looking at. Thank you.
Oh yeah, that thing's going.
With enough wind, that thing will expand 2 times, 3 times a minute.
Fire 3 is responding to this fire.
I'm getting ready to go.
Pilot Dean scrambles Air 1.
Okay, Chief, do you want him? Okay, he's going airborne right now.
When we do hear brush fire, that's the one time where it gets my heart beating a little bit because you never know what it's going to be. I first came to Maui about 30 years ago, fell in love with the different variation in flying. Doing the work that we do does require a lot of experience.
On the ground, the fire department is losing the battle with the out-of-control fire.
Time is of the essence. The longer it takes us to get there, the quicker it's going to get bigger, the more it's going to become a situation or an ordeal.
Don straps into a second helicopter to fly back up for Dean. The fire is spreading. Only a small road separates it from the neighborhood.
It could encroach upon the road, so main thing I'm concerned about now is just finding water.
When you first get to a fire, the biggest consideration is where's the closest water source?
Where's your reservoir? Where are you going?
I'm heading for a reservoir over here.
We're trying to pick up as much water as we can
so that when we get to the fire, we can do that much more damage with the water that we have.
Okay, I think there's another one closer. After you do this, I'll see if I can find a closer source for you.
Okay, cool. If you find a closer one, let me know.
You've got 800 pounds to 1,000 pounds of water hanging below you. The helicopter can barely lift it off the water. There's not necessarily a formula to it. It's assessing the situation and adapting to it.
I'm going to do a recon on this first before I drop the first load.
Just, okay.
Dean doesn't quite have the sense of urgency that I might have in situations, fires or searches. There's a big difference there.
Put the water on the fire. Forget the recon.
He was telling me, just get the water and put it on the fire. Don runs a tight ship, and he expects his pilots to perform like him, which is kind of a mistake, I think.
Hey, Don, you find any closer water?
Yeah, there's a freaking canal right over here, Dean.
I can be intimidating in the aircraft. People have told me I intimidate people. I'm kind of a perfectionist when it comes to flying. I always have been.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah, these guys need water over here. Be coming up below you on your left.
Oh, I got it.
Dean finds the canal, but there's a problem.
This isn't deep enough.
Maybe you'll find a deep spot in there.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to stick with the reservoir instead of around with this.
Dean returns to the fire with what little water he could scoop.
Yeah, go for Air 1.
Yeah, when you come back, take a look for any spot fires. Then we cannot see right now.
Okay, good copy on that. It looks like to me it's just along the road right now. I don't see anything beyond that. But yeah, I'm taking a close look.
Just a few burning patches remain. Dean's put down the threat.
Okay, A1's coming in right down the middle. Put out a few of those hot spots in the middle.
We're out here.
Okay, I'm going to drop one more load towards the back of the fire. I think that'll probably do this fire. This one's done. Snuffed out.
Back on the ground, Don isn't done with Dean.
I'm gonna give Dean some shit in front of the camera.
Okay. See the fire, drop the water. See the smoke, drop the water.
Isn't that what I did?
Spend half your life flying around in circles.
Yeah, I don't waste water.
I can't handle it. I can't handle it.
It's out, right?
Oh, I'm gonna fly around and see if I can find some more flames or more smoke. Well, there's plenty of targets down there, trust me.
He complains about everything.
I could be on him about something, but Dean is going to make good pilot decisions. He's safe and he can do the job. He might not be as quick as the next guy, but I'm not worried about his abilities or him making a bad pilot decision. I'm happy to have Dean with us.
Here's some water for you, all right?
It's out.
Coming up next, Don pushes Manny for a decision. Will he really leave Windward?
You understand where I am. I've got to keep Windward going, and for me to do that, I've got to make sure I've got people in line to do that.
It's a real short list of guys that have the experience necessary to do this job safely. Manny's decided that for him, it's best that he move on. And I've thought about the situation. If he's not happy, he's not happy. He's going to move on, and there's nothing I can really do about it. It was time for me to go have a conversation with Manny. I just don't feel like dealing with it right now.
you understand where I am. I mean, I've got to keep the thing going, right?
Yeah.
I've got to keep Windward going, and for me to do that, I've got to make sure I've got people in line to do that.
I want to do the right thing for me as far as the career goes, but I also want to do the right thing for you guys. I don't want to leave you in the dust. So I know we're busy in August, and I talk to them, and I say I'm not starting before the end of August.
That's a big relief.
I want to give you enough notice for you to find. Now we got 6 weeks almost, right? Until the end of August.
Well, you know, that's more than anybody's ever done for me.
Right. Well, I appreciate that.
I sincerely appreciate that.
Thank you.
I mean, really, because that's what I would do. And normally people have only given me a couple of weeks notice, so it's good that Manny's at least given me, you know, 6 weeks. That's kind of nice. The other thing I would have done is I would have told my boss before I left or talked to anybody and had an official background questionnaire letter sent to me.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully I can not get pissed off at him in that 6-week period and he ends up leaving early. Thank you. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, Manny's leaving at the end of August. It's going to be hard, and I do need all the luck I can get. It'd be nice to have somebody that can just show up here, hop in this thing, fly me from here to there, and not scare the hell out of me in the process. That's just not going to work. It's not like an entry-level aviation job.